Hi, I'm Richard Deane. I'm the Associate Principal Horn of the New York Philharmonic. My position in the orchestra is Associate Principal Horn. What that means is that whenever the principal horn is not playing, I'm actually sitting in the principal horn chair. So there's another principal horn in the orchestra called the assistant principal horn, and he or she is the person who is involved in helping the principals, me and the principal horn, play our part. So most of the time there are two people on the principal chair, but the principal and I are hardly ever on stage at the same time. This is the first question I get all the time. What are you doing with your right hand when you play? There's a lot going on back here. Not just holding the instrument up, but moving the hand around to change the color of the sound. Also, pushing the hand as far as you can up into the bell and changing the sound. That kind of thing. So we do that a lot. It's very active back here. It's almost not quite, but almost like another hand on the keyboard in a way. So I've got this one going, this one's going very subtly, but mostly up in the face. So I think people find it surprising that there's that kind of going on. I got to play a whole program with David Robertson, I remember, and the last piece was Beethoven's Second Symphony, which is a really fun piece, and it's got really difficult horn parts. And it's one of those things, I'd never played it before because in Atlanta I was a third horn player and there's only two horns on the piece, and so I never got to play the piece. I don't know what it was about the performance. I think by the end, I just realized that, and this might sound a little over the top or cliche, but I realized if at that moment I had to put my horn down and never play again, it would be okay. Because I had experienced something that to me, personally, was really as good as it could get. The piece that really blew my mind was an arrangement of the last movement of Mahler 6 for a youth orchestra, for like 7th graders. It's a real slow, and you know, things are really important when you're in the 7th grade. Things are overblown in terms of their emotional content. And so I'm sitting there and, you know, I'm listening to this music, and it's all of a sudden, just like Mahler said, it's like the whole world kind of opens up to you. The smallness of your world that you've experienced in a tiny little town in the middle of Kentucky where I grew up, all of a sudden becomes something unfathomably large. If I think about the fact that I'm in the orchestra that Mahler conducted and I'm playing the solos that he wrote, it's almost crushing in terms of its gravity. So it's best sometimes not to even think about that. Cats. My wife's gonna love that I said that. I would go with neither, but I would say cats because I love my wife. Absolutely. Detachable. East Side has been very good to me and my family, so I'm going to say East Side. Barbudo. North Carolina, vinegar sauce, not a lot of sauce on the meat. My kitchen, Brahms Requiem. In Atlanta, I was really into woodworking. I even had a woodworking business for about 3 years. We designed, fabricated, and made custom wine cellars for folks all over town. The other thing I'm passionate about is my family. Of course, I have two teenage boys. We live on the East Side, and they're into sports and all sorts of really fun stuff over there. Hair's okay and everything?
Maybe give it a sweep. Yeah.
A Justin Bieber. That's what the guy who cut my hair yesterday said. I needed to start thinking about doing a Justin Bieber kind of a look. So I could get a comb over thing going like this.